Hi, everyone. Today we are joined by Hannah and Nat from the Stretch Lab, two amazing women who have created a great business that gives back to the community and helps people gain their flexibility and mobility. They have a website that you can go and check out. It's www.thestretchlab.com.au or www.thestretchhub.com.au. They've also got their Insta, the Stretch Lab Australia. Check them out. They're amazing. They've got some great things out there for people of all ages, sizes, and ranges. If you would like to give a donation or visit and learn more about Hands, you can go to www.handsacrossthewater.org.au. You can also follow them on Instagram at handsacrossthewater_ANZ. See you there. So both of you have some impressive running experience. Tell us about that and where the passion come from.
Massively different backgrounds, actually. Nat was a sprinter, and I was multidiscipline. I was triathlon, but endurance.
I actually never really liked long distance running until I met Hannah.
Does anyone really like long distance running?
I don't know. I'm kind of hooked now. It's taken me a little while to get past that, that pain threshold. And but I quite enjoy it. Where Hannah, I don't know, she's always.
I don't know. I like the feel at it. I like to do it to the point that I can enjoy it. I refuse to do it if it's not enjoyable. The older I get, the smarter I get with where I go and when I go. But I like to look around. So we sort of make sure that we do some pretty places as a sort of, non-negotiable. We're not just pounding the pavement. And I was lucky enough to grow up in the eastern suburbs in Sydney, so the Bondi to Bronte was a regular. But I think I was the only one that used to smile doing it. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Sure.
Over your shoulder. It's actually nice. Like, you don't need to be so cerebral about it and crazy. But as far as backgrounds and running go, super different. And
as I said, I was sprinter. Hannah did we came together and started doing trail runs, but we do most mornings, and then on weekends we head out to some trails. Last year we did the Bondi to Manly, which was 80k. This year we've been training for an event coming up next year, which we're going to New Zealand. So we're heading doing a 50k, but still it's
Tarawera.
Yeah, Tarawera.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So that'll be fun. So we're kind of training quite hard for that at the moment, which is quite good.
Yeah. You running, Lockie? Is it you that's the gun son?
Absolutely not. No.
The other one?
I did a few. Yeah, it's Jack, the younger one. I did a few at the start of the year just out of stubbornness. Everyone was sitting around the table, Dad, CT, Jack and Kels all saying about the running, and I was, making fun of them. And Dad said, "When's the last time you went for a run?" And I went, "Yep, all right." So out of stubbornness, I started secretly running and recording it on Strava, just so there was evidence, not just, my word. And around, I think it was Easter maybe. Had a few drinks, and I guess I couldn't hold it any longer and spilled the beans. And then Dad jumped on and he went, "Yeah, wow, like you've done a few, you've got a good pace." And unfortunately it's dropped off a bit. But look, I actually did like it. I joke saying, does anyone like it? It's one of those things. Once you start doing it, you do really enjoy it. It does feel good. You feel obviously amazing afterwards. And it's a good sense of accomplishment. I just was running around my area. I think the longest I did was maybe 9-10 Ks or something. But it's nice to get to, see my local area, and definitely better than running on the treadmill, which I'd done before. I liked that. And I thought that was the only way I would run, but no, it's got its benefits.
After our Bondi to Manly run, we kind of only doing like 3 kilometers, and then Hannah goes, right, we're actually in Thailand, and Hannah goes, right, we're going to start running properly. We're going to do 100 meters today, and each day
was to include the family as well.
We're going to add on next day at 100 meters, then the next day 100 meters.
January 1 we did 100 meters as a family. We weren't all together, but that was the deal. And our son was like, "That's so embarrassing. You're putting 100 meters on Strava." He was starting a health journey. January 2nd, we ran 200. January 3rd, 300. And we were like just hammering each other, sending messages at like 4 a.m. going, "Get up and run. We've done it before work." But obviously by 31 January, we were all running 3.1 very comfortably, very happy. The whole family.
And then we got up to 5K. So now for me, it was oh my goodness, a 3-4K run, but now we can run 5K quite comfortably, and now especially training. But for anyone out there that
it's a great way to start.
Doesn't think that they will like running ever, just start off with 100 meters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. Really good tip.
Well, it's November and we're, cruising along doing 20Ks and 30Ks and just enjoying ourselves, because it's literally just a little bit further every time.
Yeah. And I never thought that I would go, oh, we just got 20K today. Like, not in my wildest dreams.
Yeah. It's funny that my sister last weekend actually did her first 30 with her partner following in the car as a support crew, which was really cute, meeting her to give her some water. And I was blown away because I saw her that afternoon. You wouldn't have known. You would not have known she'd put 30Ks under her belt that day. Like, she just was acting casual, and I went, wow, this is really cool. And that's obviously, the whole year worth of effort building up to that now. And she's joining Dad over there for a short period towards the end, which will be pretty special.
Well, I don't know backing up day after day like Pete. I don't know how he might feel great the first day, but after a few days, I think he'll be feeling his.
That's right.
Feeling his legs.
Hopefully he stretches. Was that a good segue?
Yeah, it was.
That is a great segue. Before I get into that, I did actually get told by a little bird that you do get up early, and it wasn't a bird because I believe they're still asleep. So why do you get up so early? And what motivates you?
There's a few reasons.
One, we like getting up at 4 o'clock because it is still dark. The world is our oyster. There's nobody on the road. You've usually got the moon and the stars.
Good temperature.
Good temperature. And you do actually feel like the world, there's nobody. It's just us. Yeah. And it is actually beautiful.
We have seen we're around the corner. We live near the ocean. We're around the corner and we'll just see like this extraordinary moon, and I'm like, that's why we're awake. Or you'll see, I don't know. It's
just the stars. Like, it's just
that's cool.
Beautiful.
On a competitive level, obviously being dark, you sort of lose the metrics of just got to get to that card, just got to get to that light bulb. Like, everything becomes a little bit harder to see. As you can see, we both wear glasses, so running in the dark, running before we've started your day, running when your eyes are fresh. We also start work incredibly early, so if we want to get it done. We've got to get it done.
Yeah, we start work at 6:30. Our first client's at 6:30, so we're there at 6. So we have to get up and start running at 4.
Yeah. But we've run down the middle of George Street in the middle of the city, and been the only people on the road, and flown from sort of Central Station right down to the Quay. Just be like, we're the only people that are left on Earth. It's unreal.
Yeah, in the middle of the road, in the middle of the city, and it's
that's really cool. You're motivating me to do it. Yeah, I love it. Do you have a special drink or food or potion to get you up and out the door?
I just pretend I'm a robot, but
I you wake up in 5Ks.
I'm a very, very enthusiastic coffee drinker, but it's reward, not.
Cool.
Yeah. It's bed into joggers into the street. Yeah.
No, I like that. Awesome.
Yeah, but nothing special.
No, I think that's actually the key, isn't it? Just get up and do it. Like Dad says, when he doesn't feel like running, he puts his shoes on, because once the shoes are on, he's committed 100%. To it.
Yeah, you just don't think about it. You just get up, have your clothes next to your bed, get dressed, and get out.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
So you created the Stretch Lab to help people with mobility and flexibility. What was the light bulb moment you realized we want to do this as a business?
Well,
was there one?
Yeah, I think there was. Yeah. We worked with helping people, and we were doing a lot of mobility at the end of people's sessions, and it's what most people really enjoyed, was stretching and mobility part of the session.
Well, specifically in golf at this point in our careers.
Oh, I love that.
The noise got quite loud. We met in the golf industry working as golf specialists, and we're doing a lot of stretching and mobility because they'll do anything to get better. I'd utilize stretch as an accessory in the endurance world. We'd utilize stretch in the, orthopedic rehab world, like new knees, new hips. And we sort of had this, I guess the light bulb was, we've got these two very different demographics who are wanting the same thing and are improving with the same thing. And the same accessory is adding value to these, elite athletes, to these sedentary people. So why isn't there a standalone thing? And as Nat said, the popularity was like, oh, can we do more of the stretching stuff? I want to do more of the stretching stuff. I told my wife about the stretching.
And I said to Hannah, what a great business this would be. Let's open a stretching facility, not just for people that have got new knees or new hips, but for everybody. So it probably took us a year.
We were still in Sydney, I think, at that point, living. We hadn't moved to the coast. I'm glad we waited. I feel like being a Sydney-sider, Sydney can be very generous in their enthusiasm, but also kind of fickle with trend. So would it have had the long-standing nature that being in a smaller community, community-based business has? I'm not sure. So I don't know, despite our offering, would it stand the test of time with trend and with that competition? So I'm glad we waited.
Yeah, and we opened up in Terrigal.
Initially.
It just went crazy and people loved it, and we did a lot of community events and got really showing up in the community and
local runs or gym openings or sailing regattas and all, like, lots of different stuff.
And it was really well received in the community, and now it's word of mouth, and we get all people from different backgrounds, from young, old, from people with abilities or disabilities come in. And it could be to improve their golf, or it could be somebody
to run across Thailand.
Or it could be somebody older and they're going on a boat cruise and they want to make sure that they're able and mobile to get around, or it could be somebody trying to get out of the car because they don't have the mobility to get out of the car. Or we've got elite athletes that come in that need to have better mobility to do jiu-jitsu or soccer or footy in that regard as well. So it's for everybody.
Wow. It is. It really is. Sounds like you get a wide, diverse range of people and get to I guess help people in every different way. Oh, I bet it does. Yeah.
Never boring at all.
And some people don't know really what we do. So you don't come and we instruct you what to do. You come in and you lay down and you're actually physically laying on a stretch bed and we're stretching you. So we take you through all the range of movement. We test your flexibility, your agility, and then we improve on what you've already got. So you're basically laying there and we're chatting to you while we move your body.
Yep. I could get behind that for sure.
Yes. I mean, some people get homework.
Some people don't want homework.
Which was also, I guess, the birthplace of our other business, the Stretch Hub, which I know Amanda told you a little bit about. But look, we're amused. Our days are full. They're varied, as Nat said. The body's an amazing thing. It's under no obligation to make sense to you, but it doesn't take much to actually invite people to understand themselves quite quickly. If you go all the way back to physiology, it's a quick learner if you teach it the right way and you teach it, repeatedly. It can learn. It can do wondrous things for you. It's not designed to break. We meet people that are broken, but your body's not designed to break. It's designed to function. So, it's an absolute privilege to sort of walk people back into that. And it doesn't always have to be hard.
No, it sounds a lot of just educating as well, depending on the person. Yeah, it's great. I think, like, personally, stretching is often overlooked, right, in training, but it is super important. What are some of the misconceptions that people have?
I think that stretching needn't be a standalone activity to get good at. You don't need to be good at stretching. You need to be good at stretching to do the other things you want to be good at, whether that's prolonging your independent mobility or running 33 marathons in 26 days. It's okay. You don't, if I can get to here and do nothing, there's no point in me getting to here. I want to be here and I want to be moving my arm and lifting things and, throwing balls or, picking up children, whatever the case may be. So I feel like stretching is massively important, but it's an accessory to your life. The body's very simple across all allied health. Your muscles and tendons talk to your bones and your brain talks to your muscles and tendons. So it goes brain to muscle to bone. Our job is to hold you long enough in your muscles and tendons so that your brain goes,
that's what
we're you go to a chiropractor, and I think they're wonderful, and there's a place, they take the place of the brain. So it's like boom, boom.
Yep,
there's no
understood.
thinking there. Whereas our job is hold, hold, hold. Your brain goes, and it then takes place where it should, and you kind of get that, that cellular reconfiguration so things move where they need to go. In the case of working with father, we hold him in certain places so that perhaps his hip goes, oh, I can go there. And then we move it slightly and hold it, and his hip goes, actually, if I'm tired there, I can go there. And then that might fatigue. So we take him into that position. His body goes, I can go there. So mobility essentially is, in the simplest way, something your body's not already doing.
Yeah, sure.
When you do those crazy activities like Pete's going to do, you want your body to be able to do a plethora of things. You don't want to be a one-trick pony that only knows how to go in a straight line with this particular gait. You want to trust your body to go, I might actually slow it up, take a few more side shuffles. I might rotate my foot inwards. I've got a heel coming up. I might launch off my toes, and just trust that all those things are going to be able to buy you that longevity that you need, because you have the trust in all those muscles to work around those joints to give you the answer you want.
That's really cool.
It's essentially, I think, very simple.
Yeah, it sounds like I did gymnastics as a young kid, and I tell a lot of people. I did a lot of a lot of half-assed gymnastics, I should say. But I tell a lot of people that, like, those early years, I think it did give me good core strength, good balance. You're moving in different ways, and everything you're saying, like, it does relate to, and it makes a lot of sense to me. That our bodies are very adaptable. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We teach. I mean, you've got kids, and you're watching. It's like, oh my God, you can walk.
Yes.
Oh my God, you can fall down and stand up. It's an incredible thing. We learn much quicker than we realize. Habits. I can throw a ball against a wall. I can do it with my left hand, and you just train yourself. You're like, it becomes second nature. So it's just a matter of, taking the time to do things that we don't do and trust ourselves to learn it.
Yeah, really cool. I love the app. It can be used anywhere, any place.
Yes.
What do you guys? What do you do when you're on the run?
Yeah, so the Stretch Hub has been made available for the last 6 or 7 months now. So it's an online platform. So it's either on your mobile phone, or you can cast it to the television and do it with your whole family. It's an all-encompassed stretching app. So from head to toe. It's 12 minutes a day, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. You have the weekend to catch up. It's for most people. Most people would be able to do it.
Or modify if needed. It's pretty generous, I think, in its.
There's no equipment needed, so you can do it at the park, which is really good.
It just got loud, Lockie, like people saying, what can I do in between visits?
Yeah, sure.
So it was just a case of, serving up homework, essentially. That is very broad. It's going to tick all the boxes. And as Nat said, it's 5 days a week, 12 minutes. So there's your hour of stretching, which I think people feel good knowing I've done an hour of this, I've done an hour of that. It's kind of that number that we all feel quite proud of. It's, as far as, like, say the work we do with Pete or Claire, and we have an hour session with him, and it's pretty thorough, and there's a lot of pressure applied, and there's a lot of holding and moving and shifting and shaking. What happens is that learned activity, you become quite intuitive, and you sort of want that, you desire those feelings. So it might be you sat in the car a week later, and you're like, I might put my hand behind the passenger seat and open up my chest a little bit. You start to move quite intuitively and stretch anyway. And then I think the app is just a really beautiful sort of, almost like a pinball lever, just kind of knocking you back into
keeps you back in track.
Let's keep some structure here, introduce a few things. Every single day is different with the app, which I think, variety is the spice of life, but great for your body. And as I said, it's toes to nose.
Yeah, it's for all age groups, but even if you're not a runner and you just go for a walk, or you're not doing anything, if you just follow it and you're just moving, that could be your workout for the day. So it does get, some of the moves gets my heart rate up, or some of the moves it's like, this is a bit hard because I've got to balance and hold onto my foot. So if you use it just for if you're not doing anything and you want something to do to get you moving, this is probably a great start for somebody just to get moving.
And it's not boring. I think a lot of people would think stretching's boring. So we've tried to make it not boring. We've also tried to make it appealing in the sense that it's not, some hot young thing in a crop top and ties doing the splits. It's just everyday people in our lounge room, moving really nicely, as quite freely, and going, oh, reach for your toes, and if you can't quite get there, we'll head in that general direction. And
it's like some of the things like I can't do, and Hannah goes, and she meant to be doing this, but
sure.
We're going to shoot through. I can't remember what platform we're doing. I think with Claire, we're going to just shoot through like 10 minutes worth of daily stretching for them to take on the road.
Yeah, love it.
There'll be exercises that do feature on the hub. Just for people to use, before they get out for the day, whether they're doing 1 kilometre or 2 kilometres or, 60.
What it's also
sure.
Yeah, 60.
And just move, stop and stretch.
What it's also good for, because people go, oh, yeah, I do stretching, but they do the same stretches every day, and it might be the same 4 stretches they do for 2 minutes. Yep. This will give you a whole variety of stretches.
A big toolbox.
Yeah, a big toolbox. I think we've got over 500 stretches on it. So people are not going to be bored, which is really good. And you can download it through the App Store, the Google Store, or they can head to the website, www.thestretchhub.com.au, to download it from the website itself.
Yeah, love it. I think that's something, that again, from my past experience going to the gym and things like that, it definitely feels good afterwards to stretch or before to stretch. But without that kind of guidance on knowing what to do, you could be doing the wrong thing. You could be causing harm. Or, you just don't know if it's actually working. So it sounds, awesome for everyone, really.
I'm just people often come to us with, oh, should I try this? Or there's this place down the street and they plug you into this, and should I try that? Or what about people? And I just go, yes. Just my only answer is ever going to be yes. Just try all of it. Something will resonate. Just as Nat said, just move your body.
Move.
Yeah, cool. Now, you both obviously live a very active life. How do you fit in your stretches yourself? When do you do it? Is it before the run? Is it after the run in the morning? Throughout the day?
It's any time. You don't need it to before. People go, you should warm up before. And yes, I probably should. But to be quite honest, at 4 o'clock in the morning,
it's after.
I roll out of bed, I put my gear on and I run. So it's usually after a shower of an evening in front of the TV. I'm on the floor and I've got my phone out in front of me and have it on silent so I can't hear myself. And then I follow the moves.
Do you know what's been good? Like we stretch prior. Gosh, it's nice just to be told what to do. And I know it's me and it's watching myself and I'm like, oh, I know that, but I don't have to think. So at the end of the day, so I'll either do it at the end of a run or at the end of the day. So I'm happy to do it independently. I don't feel like it needs to be bookended. It's just nice to go, oh, I'm doing this and then I'm going to do that and then I'm going to do, it's easy. And it's just 12 1-minute videos.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that's so, freeing for everyone, Dad, especially on the move, traveling different countries, different time zones. Yeah, just get it in when it suits.
You say when is the best time to stretch, but the answer is any time.
Yeah, cool. Real good answer. I love that.
Well, when's the right time to drink water?
Yeah. How long's a piece of string?
If you wait till you get thirsty, you're screwed. So just
sure.
If you wait to the point that something's wrong and you're like, I need to get out of jail free card. I feel like I need to stretch, something's tight, is probably something that you should have introduced, a long time earlier. The body, they say listen to your body whisper before it screams.
Sure. Do you find that is the case though with your, new clients? Do you find that they're coming to you when it's already bad?
Yeah.
Or is that
most of us learn the hard way. Most of us learn the hard way.
Yeah, sure. That's right.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Don't
need to play with it unless it's broken. But that point I've found is sometimes too far gone.
I think we're very clear on being an accessory to other allied health. We will refer where needed, osteophysio, chiro, podiatry.
Yep.
If it is something that's, out of our scope, we'll just send it on, where needed. But as I said, it should just be part of your life.
Yeah.
Whether it's assisted with us or following along at home, move your bodies, complement your desires with, don't miss out on the things you love.
Yeah, really cool. Now, is there a funny moment or story you can share that you've had, working with the Stretch Lab?
I've got one that came straight to mind actually.
I think most of our day is pretty fun, but if you've got a story,
it sounds like it.
No, I've got a funny one. It's not to do with stretching so much, but I guess the most familiar, people don't always know what they're coming to when they come to us. I guess the most familiar environment would be, a lot of people, most people have had a massage of some sort, whether it's shopping centre or otherwise. But there was a long-time customer of Nat's who sort of was a bit absent-minded when he arrived one day, and
I think he's been coming in for like over 12 months.
He's been coming in, but my client arrived at the same time and said, "I won't be a sec. I'll just get out of my gear," and went into the bathroom because she'd come in her corporate gear and to change into activewear. And I looked over at Nat's client. He's laying there in his knickers.
Right.
Because you're actually fully dressed.
Because we stretch people in boardies and T-shirts and cloak. He must have just heard her say, "I'm getting out of my gear," meaning I'm getting out of my corporate gear and into my sports clothes.
Sure.
But lo and behold, there he was, dear thing. He was an older gentleman, and he was in decent shape for a 70-year-old man.
And we just thought, we're not going to say anything.
Anyway, it took him about 45 minutes of the 60 before he looked over. He's like, "I'm not supposed to be naked, am I?"
No.
So that was really good.
It was very funny. Yeah, all laughed. He found it very funny.
Yeah,
it was okay. It was the right crowd. We work in an open platform. Lucky we've got 2 beds in one room with fully clothed people. So amongst the 4 of us, whoever's working at the time, we usually interact quite a lot and have a laugh. But people come at the same time and we work. But
that's probably the funniest situation we've had.
What did you think? Did you tell me?
No. As soon as you said, I knew.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Material.
Yeah, we do.
We'll wait till you come in. We might get a new story and give you a special outfit to wear.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll make sure I wear some appropriate undies. Now, Stretch Lab are big supporters of Hands. How did you guys first get connected?
With the Herring family was in our life. So Jakey had growing pains. So I met Jake first and Lisa and Kieran, and then Nate had growing pains. Zach, we only met the once. He kind of scooched around it pretty easily. So the Herring family were part of our life, and then, Claire came in. Had a few sessions with Claire and was sort of ear to the ground, sussing what she did with her time. And I knew she was doing something cool. And, the husband got a mention. And then she mentioned what he was doing. And I'm like, wow, I meet this guy.
Yeah.
I meet this guy. I just want to meet this guy. What this is, I understood the mathematics. I understood the temperature. I understood to a degree the cause. I'm old enough to recall the day very, very vividly to where exactly I was in and around that time. And then we met. It was a no-brainer. I love the transparency of Hands. I feel I've read Hands Across the Water, the book. I've now gone on to read a lot about other things they've done, and I just love the transparency. I love the broadness of it. Nat and I went to Thailand last year. We went down to Khao Lak on Boxing Day, and it's made us do a lot of things. We've met a lot of people now. Yeah. We met a lot of survivors, and we met a lady who was mates with some crew at the Khao Lak orphanage, which was really nice. We don't, I've spent time only with Claire and Pete at the facility. We are capped by an hour. I pride myself on running to schedule, and I always run to schedule.
Sure.
I love respecting other people's time, but I get so excited when they come in that I start to screw with my own time.
Sure.
The time's up.
Yeah.
But it just, we meet lots of people with different causes and different things and support this fund and that fund and, kids cancer and breast cancer and the Deaf Society and multiple sclerosis. And we've got clients with motor neuron. And sometimes you just meet some people that get you right. And
sure.
Pete and Claire just got mine and Nat's attention very, very easily. So it's been an absolute privilege to work with both of them. Yeah. We went and saw Claire do her 70.3 in Port Macquarie earlier this year.
Wow.
Walking at her on the sideline, having a blast.
She was happy the whole time.
She had a smile. It was such a good time to watch her do her thing. So they're very easy to be around. Pete was obviously there screaming along with us at her.
Yeah.
And they just got our heart. So it's been a no-brainer, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as cheesy as it is, Hands does have that community, feeling
Yeah.
about from, Pete and CT to everyone that works there. And then obviously, if you get the chance to go and see any of the orphanages, it leaves a pretty big impression on your heart. So
Yeah.
That's right.
it's a common story, I guess, that relating to it. And yeah, that's really, really nice to hear. Cool.
Well, your old man's tops. I'm sure you've heard that a million times. But he's a very special
I've heard it
dude.
once or
Really
twice.
stoked to be part of his little prep. We've got one more session together on the 22nd before he heads off.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And then obviously, as I said, we'll send some stretches across to Claire, which, I think people will think, oh, it's the last thing he's probably going to want to do is 10 minutes of stretching after. I'm like, well, it's probably the only option of things he has to make a non-negotiable, because everything we offer your dad has purpose and safety, and it's efficient, it's effective, and you need to be kind if you're going to ask so much of yourself.
Absolutely.
So we're excited that he's entrusted that part of his schedule to us. I think he's in remarkable shape. He's got a lot of new tricks up his sleeve with his, his strength training. He was pretty apprehensive about getting into the gym and doing weights and whatnot. But there is.
He didn't do his arms, I noticed.
Things. You need to line up trusting yourself. You need to be at the start line going, my body knows how to do stuff. In the same way you might grab your wife's hairband and send it across the room. It doesn't go anywhere if you don't know how to give it a little bit of stretch.
Sure.
So
yeah.
If your dad wants to go that way, he needs to have a bit of length in those muscles first. So I think we're super happy he's trusted us, but more happy that he can actually trust himself to get cracking.
Yeah, cool. I think he's going to need all the tricks in his basket and all the help he can get. Not that I'm doubting him one bit. He's very fit. I am very proud of him and everything that he does, especially this. It's huge. But yeah, it sounds like he's in good hands with everyone that I've spoken to. Are you
heading over, Lockie?
I'm not, unfortunately. I really did want to. At the start of the year, I'd said to Dad, we'll be there, no questions asked. And then the more we thought about it, my partner, she just gave birth to our second child, our little boy.
Congratulations.
3 months ago. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
And it was just not the right time with him and traveling. And so unfortunately not. Genuinely wish I could be there, but we'll have to just be there in spirit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As we'll just have to cheer a bit louder, won't we?
That's it. Well, I was going to ask that. You guys getting over there? Are you supporting or cheering from the sidelines?
We will be here and we will be practicing some war cries.
Yes.
I've stupidly committed to a little send off the day before. I'm going to run 60K on the 30th of November, just to post on Strava and say, oi, what's your time? Here's mine.
Yeah, love it. It's not that hard.
No. I'm gonna just I think that I always say to Nat, the world needs a few more drops of empathy. So whilst I'll run for 60K on the 30th, I'm not gonna run 60 the next day. Nat will join me on that day, and we'll be thinking of your dad as our feet ache the morning of his first day, and we'll be sending I'll send him some of my favorite race food when I see him next week. I've got a couple of goodies for him to take over that either lovely. Will be really nice for him to eat on his run, or he'll get stopped at customs and get out of it. So we'll send him off with a good cheer. But we'll be in Australia over the summer period. We have family Christmas every second year, and that's this year for us.
That's this one. Yeah, cool. From your own experience, both of you, what do you think it will take to keep the pace for such a long time? Because obviously, it can be done in one day, maybe two, but 26 in a row is massive. What do you reckon is going to keep that going, other than obviously the advice you've already given?
Mental strength.
Bit of fortitude.
I think that's always number one. I think even if your body breaks down a little bit, if you've got the mental strength, I know that carries you through a lot.
I think running, essentially, as stupid as it sounds, is a team sport. I think the crew, Claire and Chris, the father-in-law. The best advice I ever got, and it's so simple, is it was only move in a forward direction. I had a pretty tiny bladder, And
Sure.
I remember saying to a race official, "Where's the closest toilet?" And she said, "Oh, it's just back that way." I said, No. Where's the closest toilet? And she said, "No, it's only back." I said, "No."
I'm not
She
going
said, "It's
back.
only." I said, "No."
Yeah.
I said,
yeah.
"Keep a lookout, so I'm going behind your legs." And I did, because only 250 meters that way and back is half a K. I'm
It's-
like, no
of course.
way. So
Yep.
move forward, recognize
Yep.
it's a team sport, have clarity, never, ever, ever get thirsty would be
Sure.
probably a big
Yeah.
one. Who cares about food, but never get thirsty.
Yeah.
And make sure you know what day it is
Yeah.
at
Okay.
all times. If you don't know what
Yeah.
day it is, take a break.
Yeah. Cool. That's real good advice. Yeah. I guess that answered my next question was, do you have any tips and tricks? But for anyone new to Hands, what do you think is so important about the charity, especially 20 years on?
Big question.
Well, I know what you're going ahead for you guys, like doing the plantation and trying to make it self-funding and
yeah, the agriculture
the
and hospitality,
agriculture.
like that sustainable style charity is so unique.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so exciting. I think that it's a no-brainer. I love that, the circular intent
Yes.
of it all. I feel like it's and as I said earlier, the transparency of Hands, you can run through and see exactly where you're contributing. But I think it's hard, like it's so generational. Like, as I said, like I remember that day, bang, I'm 47 years old.
Yep.
I remember it, like it's on. So I think it's one of those things that for my generation, it's so easy to talk about, remember, empathize, contribute. And I guess it's just the importance of that kind of sustainable style charity is important going forward, because, our kids are weren't even or born, but, toddlers,
Yeah.
3. Caitlin would have been 3, Callum would have been 5.
Yeah.
So, as much as they are that kind of mover and shaker generation, they don't even know that it happened, whereas my life, it's the biggest thing that's happened.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's not only what's happened in the past, it's looking
forward,
to the future and how you're helping children from today, and sending them to schools and to universities and seeing what those kids are actually now doing. It's just outstanding that you can send kids
remarkable
to another country and do, finish their university degree, and all through Hands Across the Water. It's an amazing charity.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, a lot of people might think 20 years on, aren't they all better? Absolutely. Absolutely. They're a lot better because of Hands and all the, the different locations, different orphanages, different aspects of the charity. But the whole generational thing I think you touched on is great. We've got the kids growing up, they're going to university, and then they're coming back and giving back to Hands, which just speaks in volume for the work that continues to be done 20 years on.
I think that's the word, isn't it? It's a continuation of things, because it's easy to go, here's $1,000, I've done my bit, see ya.
Sure.
And it's like, well, hold on, where did it go? But if it goes somewhere, 1,000 turns into 1,100. And, that person recalls what they do. But it's extraordinary how far it's reached. I stretched a lady the other day in Newcastle, and she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, my hubby's going off on a bike ride in January. And I was like, where is he going?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's going. But turns out she's been in the past, and he'd been in the past, and this is his 5th ride. And she'd done it 3 times. And, start to talk. And then my account goes, oh, I've been on one of those bike rides, so it's funny how
time
many
to do another one.
Actually know about it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I have done it. I've done it 3 times, and I would love to do it again. Timing, if it fits, hopefully will. Yeah, might need some stretches first. Yeah, thank you. Finally, for anyone who's inspired by the run or the work you do at the Stretch Lab, what's one small thing that they can do to help their own flexibility and mobility?
Do one thing well is better than doing nothing at all.
Great. Love it.
Head to our website and join the Stretch Lab app. That's number 1.
I'll do some simple math for you. 10, 30-second stretches is 5 minutes.
Yeah, wow. So simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And I saw, you know, like for everyone that's interested, go to the website, check it out. There's lots of, you know, regular questions there that you've got answers to. So, you know, if you, someone from
we're contactable as well. You know, jump on socials. Like we don't have, you know, a plethora of, you know, we're not inundated on social. So you can hit us up, ask us a question. There's a little message box and one of us will get back to you.
Yeah, love it. Cool. Now, did you have any final comments, tips for Dad or anyone else out there before we finish up?
Oh my goodness me. May the wind be at your back and may it be a cool breeze.
Yeah.
But as I said, I'm seeing him next week. So
yeah, we wish him all the very, very best.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. It's actually very, very hard to, but we'll be playing along at home.
Yeah. Love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Lockie, like thinking of your dad, obviously, you know, you know he's going to have days where it's going to be really in pain, and it's going to be. You know, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling excited. Yeah, it's weird. It's obviously it's not me running. It's talking to him a lot over the year, and even last year when it was still kind of a plan, and he wasn't hitting the pavement as much as he is now. And I've had my doubts, like I'm sure a few people have. I think the only one who hasn't doubted him for a minute is himself, which speaks in strength. And yeah, I think there's no question I've asked that he hasn't been prepared for. So I know that he's well equipped. He's got a great team. He's done the research, and like most things in life, he's set his eyes on a goal, and he will achieve that goal.
Yeah, so, I don't doubt him whatsoever. I have just thought the whole time, wow, and
yeah.
How great when he finishes. I've not once thought, will he make it or will he do this?
I've just thought, absolutely challenging when he finishes as well, because it's very interesting to have, I guess, you know, the come down. Like, and that's a real, thing when you've had something for such a long time and you achieve it, and that it's not anticlimactic. I mean, it's incredibly exciting, but the reward is sometimes not. There's no immediateness with it, and there's no. You know, it doesn't.
And you know what, Lockie? That's probably when he needs you the most is after as well.
So
people around him when
hold tight at home, because you need those people to come and
pick you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
He reckons he's going for a bike ride in January, by the way.
So I know. So you could probably take this year off, but no.
I said boring. Get a unicycle.
Yeah. I love it. All right. Well, thank you both.
Hey, good man. Thank you for your time. Super nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
You too. Thanks,
hey, congratulations on Bub.
Yeah.
See you in Terrigal sometime.
Yeah, that's right. Might see you next weekend if you're lucky.
Sounds good. Right. Hey, good on you, Lockie.
Thanks, Rob.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.